Hello, hello. It's been a little while, huh? Let me bring up the iPad here. See if we can connect to this live. I used to have problems with this now. Right there. Okay. Oh, hope everybody's okay. Let me see something here. Give it a second to straighten up a little bit. It takes a minute. My iPod or I my iPad lagged a little. I think I made it look like there we go. That's it. That's fine. Yeah. It'll be just fine. All right. So, let me get this off full screen. That's kind of bad. So, I posted a shirt the other day on Facebook. And you know how we do these roll rolled shirt. I try to keep my head up out of the way. I turn my hat around. I probably don't even need it. Hi, Shannara. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing fine too. Um, so I get, a lot of times I'll get asked about uh, how to do this design. And we just mirror it and roll it. So can you guys hear me okay? Peter Tide, I knew you'd show up. That's cool. Thanks for tuning in, man. Uh, so um, this was done with die spin Mindbender A on top, um, spicy plum, and then imperial purple, and then alchemist. So you can definitely see the spicy plum in it up through here. And a lot of times with the spicy plum, I don't know if you guys have ever heard the term I don't know, soda ashburn. Stephanie Belladonna, she called, was talking to Dharma, and they never heard of it. So not really quite sure what it really is, but it's almost like some of the white fibers show through. So it almost I can see why they would call it soda ash burn, but Dharma, they'd never heard of it. But if you were to zoom in, you'd see. Yeah, my cable is. I need to do some serious tuning the camera in and stuff. Sorry about the completely crooked, but it'll be all right. Um, so let's do this shirt. So this was Alchemist, or sorry, this was Mindbender, and then right below it was Spicy Plum, and then below it was Imperial Purple, and you can see the purple in it. You can see the purple running through the rolls pretty good, and and then Alchemist goes down through here, and I'm sure that's probably what these the little bit of this blue is too, along with the Mindbender. It's crazy how tie-dye works, putting powder on a shirt and ice and uh, seeing what happened, you know. So let's make this shirt. I'm thinking about mixing or changing the colors up. Um, I grabbed instead of Mindbender A, I grabbed Mindbender B. Mine throws out a little more purple. I've heard other people say theirs seems to throw out more blues, but mine seems to do purples. So I had I grabbed Mindbender A, Hurricane Bay, Actius Luna, and Alchemist. Just kind of mix it up and see, but I grabbed the colors for this too, in case we want to just go ahead and do it. But let's uh let's get our shirt centered up and get started on that. And actually, I wanted to show you once we get going, you can actually see where I just push through the wrinkles because once we start rolling our shirt, it wants to wrinkle up. So I just push through the wrinkles and you can see how some of the wrinkles, you can see some of the wrinkles in it, which I really like. Now on up, farther up here, the shirt is rolled kind of loosely and you'll start getting good flows. See how it kind of almost looks like fire if you were to zoom in. Um, that's where the roll gets looser up through here. So let's do it. All right. Okay, this shirt is a golden heavy cotton extra large. I soaked it in soda ash. Um, it was a while. I can't even really remember how long it was in there for. But spun it out in my candle spin dryer for probably 45 seconds, something like that. Nothing too long. And get the- Let's see what I have these rifle punning rods I use to help. It almost feels closer to dry than damp. I don't know if you have a Panda spin dryer, but it spin these shirts out pretty fast. So I use these rifle cleaning rods and it helps get my shirt right. All right. Grab a washable marker. Make sure my bottom seams are pretty close here. Okay. So grab my washable marker, grab both bottom ends, fold up, make them level there. I find my center. You put my finger in the middle of the shirt and then I make the seams even. That way I kind of know it's the center. Put a mark on the outside and then on the inside. I just kind of eyeball this. It doesn't, it's just a pinch where I grab it. Um, you can't go by, you don't really want to go by your tag because your tag's not always in the center. I think actually on that shirt, it's not. I noticed it when I was done. Actually, while I was doing it, if you look, you can see center and my tag's off. So you don't want to go by your center, or you don't want to go by your tag. So I'll grab the top mark here, pinch it, this little mark up here, pinch it. Bottom seams are lining up okay. Okay, so I take this sleeve and push it through and go through the other sleeve. So when you hear people say sleeve and sleeve, sleeve inside a sleeve, that's what that is. Okay, so you want to line this seam that's in the inside, the inside sleeve. You want to line those two up. And sometimes it takes a second. Sometimes they line right up. This one did. This is, if you do it like this, you're not going by your tag. Better trust your tag. So see, this one is not centered. Right. Let me double check my seam here. So this way, sometimes it takes a second. There, that feels right. And I'm not trusting that tag. It's just off center a little bit. Where I made my mark is right where it needs to be. Okay. Get my wrinkles out right there. Grab this in, pull it over. I line my bottom seams up, pull that up, line these up, and then I'll grab it right there, give it a little shake, throw it down on the table. Then I use my heavier of the two. Put my head up out of the way here. Go through the center. Will help you get pressed center seam right there. Now your sleeves can be tricky sometimes. Sometimes they cooperate good. I can feel. Okay, so that's how you center a shirt or mirror image the shirt or sleeve in sleeve. That's how you can get a nice crisp starting point. And it's weird, YouTube has this stuff backwards. I'm just going to live with it because I'm left-handed. This is actually flipped around. The camera's flipped around a little bit, but that's okay because most people are right-handed anyway. So it'll maybe help you in the long run. I feel like most people are probably right-handed, huh? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to come across, we're going to roll from this way over. So let me put a couple marks on my shirt here. Come over. That's just at the armpit. I'm going to go up just a little bit. See my string come off. Okay, so that's my starting point. I want my end point to be probably right down here. Okay, so we'll draw an arc. I'm going to just put my finger down here on the edge, I don't know, 18, 20 inches below it, and draw my arc, and I'm going to land and that'll be fine right there. Okay. That'll be all right. So when we open this shirt up, it'll be going like that all the way across. Right. Makes sense? It'll be mirrored image. So anytime you look at a shirt and you see it looks the same on both sides, this is how they started it. Sleeve inside the sleeve, and all right, so we're going to roll from here down to there. We're not really so much going to worry about this outside, but we do need to try to keep it contained a little bit. Okay. So we're going to roll kind of tight. Anybody saying anything at all? All right. Scenario, cool. Okay. So we're going to start on that line and just roll it out. You can see my knuckles, how they're white. Now my shirt's going to start wrinkling up. It's going to cause wrinkles. I just roll through it. Just like rolling through pebbles on our skateboards and stuff. Skate or die. It's got to power through those pebbles, you know? Same thing. Power through these wrinkles here. And it will cost pretty cool. Look, okay, so that rolled up nice. So you can see how it was kind of loose. So I'll get good flow on that. This is a little tighter. And you can kind of help it a little bit. Yeah. And we'll just keep rolling with that down our line. And it's going to take this one a second to catch up to this one. So we're just going to keep rolling and let me pull me, and you'll get a better look at it. So roll. Now just keep rolling and let this catch up with that. Like that. That'll work. If you need to, you can always put the thing. I might be able to go. That'll work. Then the thickest point, you can feel it. It's right there. I'm going to bend at that point. Like that. Now I have these little rubber bands. I usually just put one right there. Okay. All right. Okay. So just like that. Pretty easy. Ah, now it's just getting the right saturation and all that. So I'm going to use my gutter. And then I realized I don't really even need those. I was using clothespins. I don't even really need it. The muck still goes underneath it. Okay. Now this is going to slide. It doesn't take much of an angle to start getting that to slide. But I don't use a real steep angle, but it's still going to slide, and that's why I use the barrier down here. Okay, but that comes later. So I don't want to veer away from that other color. So let's use, and I usually use really good saturators. Like I call them hit how hard they hit on the shirt. All these dyes are different, stormy gray, safari gray, some of these grays, Wedgwood blue, um, uh, moonstone. Some dyes just don't hit as hard as like um, strawberry skies and alchemist, bronze, blue violet, aster. So yeah, just kind of have to know your dye, get to know your dye. Um, Sometimes I was started to write on top how hard they hit. Like this bronze, I put go light on it because it's a heavy hitter. It hits pretty hard. It doesn't take much. Other colors take a lot. I did a fan fold today, and I used strawberry skies and pewter. And strawberry skies is going to eat up pewter if I was to do the same width of dye. The strawberry skies is going to eat that up. So I know I had to use wide bands of pewter and then thin lines of strawberry skies. We'll see how it comes out. But uh, so I'm going to mark on here. Let me grab the color. I'm going to do uh, uh, Mindbender B. Let me see. Mindbender B. Hurricane Bay is a happy cat. Actius Luna and Alchemy. And those are the four colors I'm going to use. I'm going to use each one time, working my way down the shirt. Okay. Um, okay. So two, down to one, two, three, four. So maybe let's go. I'll stop around those lines. Okay. Now I have to go pretty. I have to go pretty heavy with these die. Now I was talking about heavy hitters because Hurricane Bay is not real heavy, not real. It doesn't. It's not real bright. It's more. I hate to say pastel but it's just not as bright. But so we'll go. We have to go pretty heavy with these guys. So if you do this dirt, you got to know that you're going to use a lot of dye on it. At least on this top one, it's pretty thick. Look you guys' weather. I live in West Virginia. We got a lot of rain. The basement flooded a little bit through the night. I had to get the shot back out. It was built in 48 or something like that. And it was kind of made to put water in. Weird, but Okay, so that's Mindbender. I always forget the name of it. You have to look at the container. That's Mindbender, and that Mindbender is going to split. And a lot of people call this like a lotus flower. Like when it was opened up, it was like, and so me and another girl, Jessica Murray, we were talking about some colors that would make that lotus flower looking thing, make it pink, and Mindbender will split a little bit of pink in it as long as you get it strong enough. I don't think you can use too much dye, but like I said, be prepared to use some dye on that, at least the top one. Okay, so this is Hurricane Bay. I'm going to go kind of heavy with it. And, always make sure you have a good grip on your dye. You don't want to drop it. And huge mass. Stephanie dropped dye. We were live once. I think she dropped. Okay, so that's pretty good. A lot of dye too. We're going to be using a lot of dye and a lot of ice. We'll be filling this to the top from here, and then it'll wedge down. This one's not. This one's actually folded like perfectly in half. Usually, it's this isn't as long as this side. A little longer, about like that. And then this is Actius Luna, and it's another. It's the same company as the Mindbender. Dark. It's under Dark Horse Dyes collection. It's dye spin, and it's a little chalkier. You can see how it actually even kind of went into the Hurricane Bay a little bit, but that'll be okay. Still going to transition pretty good. Okay. The Luna. This side's still kind of, these rolls are still kind of thick. Okay, and then Alchemist will be at the bottom. Probably won't see a whole lot of that. Curious to see how these should work pretty good together. These colors together. You know, gotta have some dye to do this fold. If you're just getting by 2 ounces, I don't know how many you can do, honestly. All right. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna go with it. Looks like maybe a little bit more Actius Luna, right? Yeah, this wants to fall off, but that's okay. All right. So let's carefully put our dies over here out of the way. Be careful with that. It's kind of heavy. All right. Well, not heavy, but okay. So here's my barriers. I'm going to be going pretty much to the top of this, so I need kind of a tall barrier here. And this one, and it's still kind of, that'll work. Okay, so let me get my ice and we'll fill this thing up. Okay, I have a salad bowl I use for ice to put my ice in. So let me pour ice in that, and then I can pour it over this big chunk in there. I'll put it to the side. Okay. All right. We put a little bit of, uh, so I put a mix 50-50. It was funny. My friend was over here. She said, "What's that?" And I said, "It's garlic powder." She couldn't believe it. Well, it's soda ash, and it's half soda ash and half blubber salt. And I want a fast melt. I don't want to hinder any kind of flow or anything. But I put just the tiniest little bit on top. I usually do this on the floor. I hope this goes okay. Okay, that was okay. I'm gonna have to put some more in it and fill it to the top. Okay. And all those chunk. All right. So usually the bottom isn't as thick as up here, but this roll it was. So I need to be mindful. You need to be mindful of how much dye you're using, which is a lot, and how much ice you use, because you don't want to. If this was like, like I said, there's a tail end down here that sticks down, and it's not very thick. So if I put a bunch of ice on top of it, I could kind of mute it out. So you have to be kind of mindful of that, which I am being mindful because it's not on this roll. So this is going to take a minute to melt. I want a fast melt, but I don't think I'm going to get it. So we'll see. The longer your ice sits on your shirt, kind of felt this over the winter, but I don't know if it's true 100%, but I kind of feel like the longer your ice sits on your shirt, the less saturation you're liable to get. You're probably going to get a lot more white than what you really want. I can show you an example here. It just happened to me on a double fan fold, and it took a while for the ice to melt. So that's that fold, the mirrored the mirrored roll, with it going across the shirt like that. And a lot of people say it looks like, concert lights, and I agree with them. It does. It looks a lot like like being at a concert and seeing the lights up on stage. So, okay, so I'm gonna be kind of generous with this because thought will help this ice to melt kind of quick. I have an ice maker, and I can make 100 pounds a day if I want. I don't need to. Um, so I store it in my deep freezer, and it gets hard, and it's like glass. You can see how it's still. There's no. If I was to take it out of it, fresh out of the ice maker, it's wet. Like I could do dye over. I could put dye over top of this, and it would just sit on top of it, in powder form. Um, if I was to take it straight out of the maker, it's gonna immediately like start saturating and start doing its thing. Um, so that's that fold. And what I'll do is incline it, and it'll be about a 15-degree incline, and hopefully it will melt kind of fast. Um, hopefully by in morning time it'll be almost gone. It's time now, 7, almost 7:30. So, you can see how quick this fold can go. I mean, I'm sitting here talking with you, so, um, uh, I'm wasting time. Um, if I just do this and I'm down here by myself, I can do them in 10 minutes, um, 15 at the most. Um, so here's another thing to think about. You see how everything's down at this end? If you do everything down at one, if you do everything in the middle, you take a chance on everything sliding down. Might not always be a good thing. It's not always a bad thing, but um, the only reason I'm using these washcloths is basically to keep the ice from flowing out off the end. It keeps everything contained. Um, but if I was to do all my work up here and then I start inclining it, it could slide and maybe put some colors and some dye in where I don't want it to be. So I do my work at this end, incline this. Here's my back edge of the rain gutter, and here's the rolled front. So I always have the rolled front, my incline on this rolled edge, the top side up. So I know this is always going to be the top of my incline. So if something happened and the doorbell rang and I had to leave my work, I come down and it's sitting like this, I always know this rolled edge on the left-hand side is always going to be the top of my incline. I always try to set my shirt in the same way. Um, we need to do a decline sometime. I was uh, talking about it the other night, but so this is it. I'm going to put it in my. I use these. They're like catering pans, and I mean it's that's primitive. Just use a bucket, and this is my drip pan, and I'll set it, and it'll be raised up like that. I mean, nothing high tech, you know. Um, and if everything wants to slide forward, it can slide forward it's not going to go far, you know. Now I put a lot of ice in this, and it could be heavy, but just like that. And that's how I'll do it. I could actually probably just leave it right here and let it do its thing because it's kind of warm here. Um, It might be a little warmer where I usually keep it, but that's how I incline my stuff. Usually that's about a 15-degree incline. Um, Sometimes I'll put that's why I had this in my hand because I'll put it underneath it and make it another degree or two. I've always felt 17 degrees is my sweet spot. I don't know, everybody's different, but um, 15 degrees seems to be my sweet spot. And you can see there's a lot of ice in it. It's pretty heavy. I put one of these little racks that I made out of this, just cut that out, put this on the bottom of it. That way I won't have muck lines. Um, so, and the muck water can flow underneath it. So that's going to cause it to help. That can help it to slide forward too. So if I do all my work down here, it's only going to slide a couple inches. If I do it up here, I'll have a lot of weight up here and it's going to slide down. All right. So that's how you do the mirrored roll. Um, I like to see you guys do some. They are very fun to do, and you can see it's definitely a beginner. It's definitely a beginner fold, but it takes a lot of dye. So it's not so much a beginner fold when it comes to dye because I know a lot of beginners, myself included, I was buying 2-ounce containers. And you're doing that kind of project with a 2-ounce container, you're only going to get what, 4 or 5 shirts. If you have 4 or 5 colors and you're using you're not going to get much. You saw how much dye I was using. Those were pound containers. So uh yeah, let's see. What are those colors again, Scott? I was using my first color was Mindbender B. It will kind of throw out some purple. It'll be like blues, pinks, and purples. And then Hurricane Bay, which is by Happy Cat. And actually, I need to make a label. So let's just do that. Um, and I just use a piece of masking tape. Let me come over here. Use a piece of masking tape, and I'll write on MBB, which is Mindbender B. Hurricane Bay, so I'll just write hurricane. That's my only die with I'll know what that is. Hurricane Bay, and then I used Actius Luna, so I could just write Actius. And then I used Alchemist. That was my fourth. And this is for the live. And I did this was Thursday at 7:30. So if you have a bunch of projects going, you write your time and stuff down, you'll know when your batching should be done. And you'll know what color to use. And never keep these with your washable markers. You very easily grab it and use it to mark it on a shirt, which could be one of the best shirts you've ever done. So I keep them away from each other. All right. So that's how you do it. Yeah, 4 of those setting right now. Awesome. Yeah. I don't know if you use Facebook, but if you do, and you're in the groups, I look forward to seeing them. Um, Sonara, thanks again for joining in. Skate or Die, of course. Leaf, awesome to see you. Donna Gay Bowling, always a pleasure. Um, Sarah Bond, thank you. Nick, Paula Floyd, of course. Um, So, thanks again, and we'll see how this turns out. So, what I have done in the past, let me put this on my gutter here, put it at the top. Um, what I have done with these in the past is that where you started your roll and you roll it down real nice and tight, and then you bend at the thick part, and that's up here at the top. That's that's tight, and it's hard to get that saturated. So what I was doing was, like, after the ice had melted, I would flip it over and, uh, yeah, I did a different way. Sometimes wouldn't even flip it, I would just add more ice from here to here, just on that problematic spot. What you do is you look at the bottom. If you have a bunch of white, you can always, if you have standing dye on top, you can always add more ice to kind of push it through. Or you can flip it over and add a little more dye on that spot of that color. And if this bottom is saturated, I'm not going to touch it. I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm just going to deal with the problematic area. So I'd add more dye, um, and put more ice on it just in that spot. Or you can use hot water and push hot water through it, and that can kind of help saturate it too. I've done that also. So it's kind of up to the artist, however you want to do it. There's many different ways. Um, I will probably finish it with hot water. Um, I don't know. Some shirts I do, some shirts I don't. With these, I will, but with fan folds, no. I won't do it. I don't do it to myself. I don't know. Some shirts I rush, some shirts I don't. Some uh, spirals I always put in the microwave and microwave them when the shirt's not dripping wet. And finish it in the microwave. Sometimes I feel like it even helps with the brightness. I don't think I've ever done it with a fan fold or anything like that, but so that's how you do this. I can sit and ramble and talk shop all night, but that's how you do it. So if I have good saturation on the bottom part tomorrow, um, I'll pour boiling water over it. Um, not tomorrow, but the next morning. So what it would be Saturday morning. I'll pour boiling water over it. That's as long as the saturation's good. If I lift it up tomorrow morning and there's white, a bunch of white, and there's no dye sitting on top of the shirt, then I'm flipping it and I'm putting dye and a little bit of ice on it. Um, if there's still a bunch of residual dye sitting on top and there's a little bit of white, I'm just going to put more dye. I'm not going to flip it. I'm just going to put more dye on it. Or sorry, put more ice on it. Just from here to here. And that would be it. Um, because these are uh, tight, really tight. But a little bit of white can look really cool. It kind of plays with your eyes. So it just depends on the artist and how you want to do things. But just find what works for you. That's what I do. I kind of experiment and see what works for me, and then I try to emulate that afterwards. I learn little things. I try to learn things each time. I do a shirt, try to make it easier on myself the next time. Um, but uh, I'd like to see you do a shirt like this. If you do, tag me so I can see it. Um, uh, I'll do a reveal on this shirt. I'll reveal the shirt. Let's say probably Saturday night. It's Thursday night. Yeah, probably Saturday night. All right. Unless something comes up, but well, thanks for tuning in, and I appreciate you. And If you go out, call an Uber. Don't drink and drive. All right. Peace. And thanks for tuning in. Later.